Good morning everyone. Welcome back to GK Today. And today we'll be discussing most important MCQs for 17th and 18th of May 2023. Let's start with our session. India signed a mobility pact that will allow 42,000 Indians to work with which particular country? So India and Israel have inked a mobility pact that will allow 42,000 Indian workers to work in the country, Israel, in the field of nursing and construction. Okay. So this agreement was signed during Israeli foreign minister's visit to our country, India. And now both the countries have also signed a letter of intent to establish 2 centers of water technology in India. Fine. So basically India and Israel are associated with this mobility pact. Now here if we talk about few more important agreements. So a few days back we have seen that UK and India have recently decided to collaborate to establish a net zero innovation virtual center. And aim is to unite the stakeholders from both the countries so that they can work on key focus areas like green hydrogen, etc. Fine. So you can be asked that which 2 countries are associated with the net zero innovation virtual center. So these 2 countries are India and UK. Now also recently Shivalik Small Finance Bank has partnered with Arya.ag, which is a grain commerce platform, so that they can provide financing to the small farmers. And basic aim is to drive financial inclusion for the farmers and the FPOs. Fine. So for this purpose, Shivalik Small Finance Bank has partnered with Arya.ag. Next is, which space agency has developed the Aeolus Satellite? Actually, it is one of the most effective weather satellites that has been developed by the European Space Agency. And currently it is on a trajectory to return to Earth's atmosphere. That's why it is in news. So basically this Aeolus, which is an Earth Explorer research mission, it was designed to demonstrate the new space technology, and this is nearly 1360 kilograms in weight, and it is on its way now to crash on the planet. That's why it is in news. Okay. So which space agency has developed this Aeolus satellite? So answer would be European Space Agency. Now a few days back we have talked about another satellite named as CARPSAR. This is Britain's spy satellite, right? So simply you can be asked that CARPSAR is the spy satellite of which country? So answer would be Britain. Fine. Now also we have talked about H3 rocket few days back. Why it was in news? Because recently it has experienced an engine failure and it belongs to the country Japan. Fine. And this rocket carried Aeolus 3 satellite with itself, and it was launched for detecting the North Korean ballistic missile launches. Fine. So H3 rocket belongs to the country Japan. Also there is this Kuafu 1. It is the first space-based solar telescope that has been launched by the country China, right? So you can be asked that Kuafu 1 belongs to which country? So answer would be China. Next is, which state launched the state robotics framework? So Telangana government has recently launched the state robotics framework, and this is the first such framework in India, the aim of which is to create a sustainable robotics ecosystem and to position the state as a leader in the field of robotics. Fine. So which state is associated with the state robotics framework? It is Telangana state. Now if you talk about different states that were in news, so India's very first multi-modal logistic parks is set to be established in the state of Assam. Okay. Also recently Rajasthan government has declared 3 of its areas as the conservation reserves, right? Which are these 3 areas? First is the Sorsen in Baran, second is Hamirgarh in Bhilwara, and the third is Khichen in Jodhpur. These are the three areas of Rajasthan that Rajasthan government has declared as the conservation reserves. Fine. Next is, which is the first state to get India's first pod taxi project? So the Yamuna Authority has recently approved India's first pod tax project's revamped detailed project report and bid document. And what is this pod taxi? This is a fast and environmentally friendly automated car that is capable of carrying the travelers from one place to another. And now Uttar Pradesh is the very first state in the country to have the pod taxi. Fine. Now if you talk about Uttar Pradesh, it was in news for many of the reasons these days. First of all, Uttar Pradesh is now at the second position in country in terms of having the maximum number of GI tag products. Fine. And which state is at the first position in terms of number of GI tag product? So this is Tamil Nadu, second is obviously Uttar Pradesh, and the third state is Karnataka. Okay. Now also Uttar Pradesh is the first state in the country to provide the health cards to its children. Fine. And aim is to improve the health of students. Also Uttar Pradesh is set to get its first pharma park in the Lalitpur district of Bundelkhand. Fine. So you can be asked that the first pharma park of Uttar Pradesh is to be come up at which place? So answer would be Lalitpur. Next is, which country is set to provide $1.2 billion more to Ukraine country as a part of its security assistance initiative? So as a part of Ukraine security assistance initiative, the US will provide $1.2 billion more in long-term military aid to the country Ukraine. And also it will help in strengthening the Kyiv in its air defenses against the Russia's attack. Fine. So this country is US. India Post and Confederation of All India Traders partnered to operationalize which particular portal? So recently the India Post, Confederation of All India Traders and Thrift Technologies entered into an agreement to facilitate the operationalization of the Bharat E-Mart portal. Fine. And this portal will provide the facility to pick up the consignment from the premises of the traders and ensure the doorstep delivery for the consignees across India. Okay. So for this purpose, India Post and Confederation of All India Traders have partnered along with Tripta Technologies. Next is Fakhar Zaman, who was named as the ICC Men's Player of the Month, is from which country? So recently International Cricket Council, means ICC, has named Pakistani cricketer Fakhar Zaman as ICC Men's Player of the Month for April 2023. Okay, and this decision comes after Zaman produced match-winning performance for Pakistan in ODI. Okay, so who has been declared as the ICC Men's Player of the Month for April? This is Fakhar, and he is from the country Pakistan. Now if we talk about few sport-related current affairs, recently India has got its 82nd Grandmaster. Who's that? Vuppala Praneeth, right? And he is from the state Telangana. Also don't forget that birthday of Indian football legend Mr. Pradeep Kumar Banerjee will now be recognized as AIFF Grassroots Day. Okay, and this is 23rd of June every year. Fine. Okay. Now talking about Lionel Messi, recently he has won the Laureus Sportsman of the Year award, and he is from the country Argentina. Also with this, he is the first athlete to win both the World Sportsman of the Year award and the World Team of the Year award in the same year. Fine. So Lionel Messi is from which country? Answer would be Argentina. Next question is, Siddheswara Temple, which was seen in the news recently, is located in which state or the union territory? So this temple is a 7th century temple at Hemvati in the state of Andhra Pradesh, and it was built by the Nulamba rulers under the lordship of Pallavas between the 7th and 10th century for the propagation of Shaivism. Okay, and basic inscriptions on the pillars of this temple revealed interesting facts about the education system supported by the Nolamba Pallavas and their predecessors. Okay, so Siddheswara Temple was in news these days, so you can be asked about its location. So it lies in the state of Andhra Pradesh. Also these days, Jama Masjid is in news, and it is India's largest mosque, and Delhi Works Department is currently pushing for the Jama Masjid redevelopment plan. Actually, the finial of the Jama Masjid's central dome was damaged in the month of May last year following heavy rain and thunderstorm. So since Jama Masjid was in news these days, so you can be asked that India's largest mosque, which is Jama Masjid, is situated in which state or the union territory? So answer will be New Delhi. Also these days, Tungnath Temple is in news because it has been designated as the national monument and it belongs to Uttarakhand state, right? And recently the foundation for Hare Krishna Heritage Tower has been laid in Hyderabad. Okay. Now next is IIT Madras has developed the Piezoelectric MEMS Technology along with which particular institution? So Piezoelectric MEMS Technology has been jointly developed by the researchers at DRDO and IIT Madras, and this sensor technology has the potential to be used for underwater communications by the Indian Navy. Fine. So this is DRDO. For this purpose, IIT Madras has partnered with DRDO. Talking about IIT Roorkee, recently it has unveiled the new labs to drive India's clean energy transition, and 2 new labs were inaugurated at its Department of Hydrogen and Renewable Energy. Fine. And 2 new labs were inaugurated at its Department of Hydro and Renewable Energy. The one lab is dedicated to Renewable Grid Integration Laboratory, and second is for Green Hydrogen Laboratory. Fine. Next is, which state or the union territory launched a foundation to utilize the contributions from corporates and public for development of sports? So Tamil Nadu Champions Foundation was officially launched, and Chief Minister's Trophy 2023 logo, mascot and the theme song were unveiled. So Chennai Super Kings captain Mahendra Singh Dhoni was the guest of honor, and the logo comes with the slogan Kalam Namathaye, and the mascot is a Nilgiri Thar named as Viran. Fine. So it is Tamil Nadu state. Next is, which racing driver won the Miami Grand Prix title in 2023? So this title has been won by Max Verstappen, and Sergio Perez was at the 2nd position while Fernando Alonso came at 3rd place. Fine. Also don't forget that Max Verstappen was the winner of the last year's inaugural Miami Grand Prix as well. Next is, Sathyabhama Das Biju, who was seen in the news recently, is associated with which profession? So he is popularly known as the Frogman of India, and he has been chosen for Harvard University's prestigious Radcliffe Fellowship, and he is one of the 50 scholars who were awarded the Harvard Radcliffe Institute Fellowship for 2023 to 24. Okay, so he is associated with biology and he is a famous biologist. Now talking about few important awards and honors, recently a famous astronomer named as Jayant Narlikar, he has won the Govind Swarup Lifetime Achievement Award 2022, and it is presented by Astronomical Society of India, right? Also recently, Cochin Port has bagged Sagar Shresht Samman Award 2023, and the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, Mr. Yogi Adityanath, has recently won the Bharat Ratna Dr. Ambedkar Award. Fine. So these are the most important current affairs and the news from today. And now let's start with our revision session. in which we are doing the current affairs revision for the month of April, and this is the 6th part in this series in which we will be discussing the questions from 76 up to question number 90. Let's start. As per the Global Energy Monitor's 9th annual survey, which country accounted for the highest coal capacity as of 2023? This is the country China. China accounts for 59% of the new coal capacity, while Bangladesh was ranked at 9th position among the rest of countries like India, Pakistan, Vietnam, etc. Supreme Court set aside the orders of Information and Broadcasting Ministry and Kerala High Court, which refused to renew the license of which particular channel. So Supreme Court set aside the orders passed by this ministry and the Kerala High Court, refusing to renew the Malayalam news channel Media One's broadcast license. When is the National Maritime celebrated in India? We observe this day on 5th of April every year. Who is the head of the Finance Ministry Committee set up to review the pension system for the government employees? So the Union Finance Minister has notified the formation of a committee to review the pension system for the government employees, and this committee is headed by Finance Secretary T.V. Somnathan. Cabinet approves LIGO India gravitational wave detector to be built in which Indian state? Indian government has recently approved a project to build an advanced gravitational wave detector in the state of Maharashtra, and this is the third such LIGO observatory. Okay. Which institution launched the C-Vigil application? So this application was launched by the Election Commission of India to fast track the complaints regarding the Model Code of Conduct violation. Rabbit hemorrhagic disease is prevalently spreading in which country? This virus is a contagious and deadly viral hepatitis that affects the adult, domesticated and wild rabbits, and currently it is affecting New Zealand country. Support for Poor Prisoner scheme is associated with which union ministry? This is the initiative of Ministry of Home Affairs, and under the scheme the state government will receive financial support from the Home Ministry so that they can help underprivileged prisoners who are unable to get the bail or secure release from prisons due to financial constraint. Rayana Barnabi is said to become the first woman astronaut from which country? So she is the first woman astronaut from the country Saudi Arabia. Al-Ula declaration, which was seen in the news, is related to which country? So a fourth joint meeting between the delegates of UAE and Qatar was held in Abu Dhabi to follow up on the implementation of this Al-Ula declaration. So it is associated with Qatar. Fine. Next is, which country hosts the multinational war game named as Exercise Orion? So the host for this particular exercise is France. Namda is the centuries-old traditional craft is associated with which state or the union territory? It is actually a type of rug which is made using felted wool, and it is a product from Jammu and Kashmir. Prasthan exercise, the biannual coordinated exercise held near which city in 2023? This is a biannual coordinated exercise held among Indian defense, state and civilian agencies twice a year, and recently it was conducted in the offshore development areas of Mumbai. Okay. Which country chairs the second G20 finance ministries and the central bank governors meeting? Answer would be India. Mircha rice, which recently received the GI tag, is from which state or the union territory? So this product recently received the GI tag and it is a product from Bihar. Fine. So these are the next 15 questions from the month of April, and tomorrow we'll take it ahead and we will discuss the questions from 91 up to question number 105. Now let's start with today's quiz. Here on the slide you can see 5 questions which have been taken from the past 2-3 days current affairs. Pause the video and try to solve each of these questions, and at the end of the lecture do not forget to share your scores in the comment section. So please be honest and do not cheat with yourself. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked the session. These were the important news and events from today, and we will meet again tomorrow with some more important current affairs. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, me Nuzhat Sana signing off.